Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Disjunct Confusion Thursday Night Hangout.
It's wonderful Thursday night. We're all still here, and I think mostly live.
Yeah, well, we are live. I don't know about the mostly part, but we are live.
I mean, there's a wide spectrum between being alive and not alive. I don't know what the spectrum is, but I'm sure one exists.
Oh, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, I, of course, am your host, Charlie, and I'm joined once again by the prolific comer himself, Zealeus.
Greetings and salutations.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Thursday Night Hangouts, our live show where I try our best to cover the topics most important to you during the show. At any point during the show, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, opinions, thoughts, anything that you want to voice, all you got to do is drop it in the chat, be it on Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook. If we do run out of time, we'll add what you have to offer to the very next show. So, without further ado, let's jump into it.
Indeed, I am jumping hat first.
Okay, so let's start off with the good news, bad news part.
Both.
March 15th, I think it was March 15th, has come and gone. And so the big reveal has occurred.
The what?
The big reveal has occurred.
There was a big reveal being revealed on the 15th of March?
Yes, starring Nathan Fillion going to everybody's house and going, it's time.
Yes.
So, good news, bad news time, ladies and gentlemen. Good news, FireFly is back. Potentially bad news, it's going to be animated. Look, here's the deal. I mean, if done right, this could be awesome because it could definitely lengthen the adventures of Captain Mal and all of those characters. And it's basically a done deal that the fact of Wash's death is being retconned, or they're just placing it between the TV series and Serenity.
Yeah. I mean, I get the anime because they're like trying to get all the actor and actresses together for one show. I'm sure the logistics are a nightmare because a number of them are like in shows already or like production movies. So getting all their schedules, because it really is kind of amazing the prolific output of the like entire cast of FireFly.
Yes.
Is really quite impressive when you kind of look at, basically everyone in that has had some kind of major role thereafter.
Yes.
Does not happen very often. But with that, it like when we first talk about FireFly in retrospect, you hear something like, oh, I should have guessed that.
Yeah.
In retrospect, I'm like, oh, yeah, no, I should have guessed that because it makes a lot of sense. Because when they were first announcing, like when he was first going around, I was very skeptical of like, how are they going to do a show with everyone, just knowing their schedules?
Yes.
But the anime chose the perfect way to do it because you could be in the comfort of your home and record your lines. So I think it's cool. I hope it doesn't encounter the Buffy syndrome where the pilot comes and then it's shat on and then it's shut down before it even sees the light of day.
That was ironically the next story, but yes, we'll let's keep with the FireFly thing. The other beautiful thing about it being animated is the simple fact is it has been quite a while since FireFly was actually on TV, and for better or for worse, there's this thing called age, and so the cast was not going to look as spring chicken-y as they did back in the day.
Because that was my other question when they were talking about if it was live action. I'm like, are they just going to be like 20 years in the future?
Like what happened? Did they go through a weird wormhole we weren't aware of?
Yeah, so I think it's cool. I mean, not to talk about the next story too much, but I do think Nathan Fillion, he's been on the block a few times.
Yes.
He's been on a few shows.
Yes.
So as far as somebody kind of leading this production, I would have a feeling that the man knows what he's doing.
Yes. And the other thing is that with it being animated, certain characters could be resurrected. Because the unfortunate thing is, since the last episode of FireFly, one of the main characters, the gentleman who played Preacher, is dead. He passed away. So,
yeah, that's a good point too. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they handle that type of situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's cool. I know this is probably blasphemy, but I've not actually seen Firefly. So, which is weird because I've seen Serenity a couple of times. But maybe this is the impetus behind me finally actually watching Firefly.
How dare you? I can't even talk to you anymore.
Okay, goodbye.
Now, that being said, the next story that we've got to talk about is a show that I probably have watched a total of like 7 episodes of total. And that, of course, is we were going to see a Buffy reboot, and then we weren't.
Whereas I've seen the entire run of Buffy and Angel.
Well, there you go.
Apparently, from what I've read, I guess the pilot was complete and total utter shit. And so the show, or the, I guess, not showrunner, but, the producers or the executives, whoever saw it, were like, yeah, this is a pile of turd and canned it. That's all kind of speculation. I have mixed feelings because, like, I feel like between Buffy and Angel, like a full story was told. I mean, yeah, what was it, 7 or 8 seasons of Buffy, and then you had 5 seasons of Angel. And so it's kind of like they told 13 seasons worth of stuff, and yet a whole lot of comics also. That was like a big deal after that, was the comics.
Right.
So, like, I'm not opposed to a Buffy reboot, but at the same time, I'm just kind of like, even somebody who hasn't seen Firefly, I'm actually more interested in the Firefly.
Yeah.
Because it seems like there's so many more stories to be told from that perspective because they only had 1 season to do it. So, as far as Buffy being canceled, it's kind of sad. I think it's one of those that you kind of hope, like, if they get to a season 2 or 3, which I know is happening now, but if you did, then you get to see some of the characters who aren't in the season 1, like Angel would be the big one.
Yeah.
Like, to come back and make like an appearance or something along those lines. I think we kind of be the hope if it were to, be popular. I think that's kind of the tricky part with, any new IP or continuation of IP is it's like the knee-jerk reaction of reception is so immediate and swift.
Right. I heard, this was the rumor that I heard about it, is that there were certain people that said the pilot basically felt like a bad SNL skit.
Which
That's
is
not what you want.
I mean, the first season of Buffy was kind of bad, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, first season of Buffy was kind of bad, actually. But obviously it worked out in the end.
Yes.
Because there were actually a few really good episodes. It was just the rest of it were crap. Because I was trying to figure out what it was doing.
Right.
So, yeah. But I think the issue you see now, I don't know if issue is the right word, but the situation you see right now of TV is like shows have 1 season. Like there's none of these, like, outside of a show like Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power is really about it. It's like, and that's because of the contract that they have with the Tolkien estate. It's like if that first season ain't a hit, you're getting hit.
Right.
Like, they're not waiting around. So I do think that by just kind of reading the tea leaves, that probably played a part of it. Where there is, I feel like you don't have the CW situation. Some of those CW shows, like, their ratings were not good. Like,
no,
they are just kind of batting 500 basically from a profit perspective. Like, they weren't losing money, they weren't making money, they're just kind of there. And that was so many of those CWs and sci-fi shows were that way. Whereas now, like, I feel like the era of CW/sci-fi isn't going to happen anytime in the immediate future because you have to have a ratings hit.
Right.
They're not going to have a okay ratings show just continue to languish.
Right.
You don't look at, a great example is Wheel of Time, where arguably the 3rd season was the best season and the most ratings, and yet they still canned it anyways.
Yeah. For those kids at home that are trying to figure out what the hell Zealeus is saying after CW, he's saying sci-fi, which is our little clever way of saying sci-fi. But as way back in the day, it used to be the SCIFI channel, and then but they couldn't copyright that, so they changed it to SYFY. So we call it sci-fi.
Yeah, and it had shows like Lost Girl,
Eureka.
Yeah, it had so many. Dark Matter, although it confused me because I was looking. I'm like, there's another Dark Matter show that's not the same.
Yes. Killjoys.
Which I want to see. I can't find Killjoys anywhere. It's really annoying me.
What's the The Expanse, right? Was there?
It started there. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
And oh my gosh, I haven't Defiance. There we go.
Defiance. I think it had also White Earp. I think started there.
Winona Earp.
Yeah, sorry, Winona Earp.
And there was was there a Van Helsing as well, or Helsing?
Yeah, I could not get into Van Helsing. I watched like an episode. Was like, I'm bored.
And I think Haven was on Sci-Fi as well.
But again, these are shows that like didn't have the biggest ratings, but they still kept them around basically. And then, then you have CW with all their shows were kind of in the same boat.
The Arrowverse, the Supergirl.
Because a lot of the Arrowverse shows didn't have great ratings either, honestly.
Yeah.
Especially after the first season or two, but they still persisted.
It had that niche.
It did. So yeah, that kind of shows where they're just going to keep them going. Yeah, we don't see that now. It's lucky to make it like 2 or 3 seasons is a huge success. It feels like.
Yes. Now, moving on to the next story. It's another show. There has been reports that another one of Cowboy Bebop creators' properties is about to be made into a live-action series. Samurai Champloo.
Oh, yay.
But here is the problem. Apparently, whoever Netflix has decided to go with the same people that did the live-action Cowboy Bebop, which makes me cringe, cry, and scream into my pillow because the Cowboy Bebop live-action adaptation was so piss-poor that even as a die-hard Cowboy Bebop fan who wants anything and everything Cowboy Bebop, I think I made it potentially to 3 episodes before I threw in the towel.
So I guess the hope is that they maybe learned from their mistakes.
God, I hope so. Look, stick with the fucking canon, okay? Don't rewrite everyone's history.
Yeah. We will see what happens. Yeah, it is kind of fascinating because it took such a huge and popular IP, didn't work out.
Yeah.
Yet they're being tapped again.
Yeah.
Which is also kind of, part of the problem with Hollywood is it's the same people who keep on getting the same jobs over and over. It's like they fail upwards.
What I want to know is like how much, the gentleman who created Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo, and others, Watanabe, like how is he okay with the showrunners who basically butchered his first property? How is he okay with allowing the same people access to a second of his properties?
I guess the always interesting question is how much control does like the creator of Samurai Champloo have over the live action? Because it seems like when we hear stories, like different writers or owners, whatever we'll call them, like they have very different inputs and controls over the live action. It seems to wild drastically between shows.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll find out.
The question is even based off the previous show, are you going to give it a try to at least see?
I think I will have to see who they cast first, and then I will pass judgment upon it.
Fair enough. I haven't watched it, but I've seen the previews for One Piece, and season 2 looks awesome.
My sons and I are rewatching the first season, but from the clips that I've seen of the second season, I am so excited to get into that second season.
It's season 2's the clips. You have to let me know how it is.
Yeah.
Because season 2 is like, ooh, this looks really freaking cool.
Yeah. I was talking to friend of the show, also the gentleman behind Hero Chiropractic, and I was we were discussing the casting for the live action One Piece, and how after watching the episodes, you're like, damn, they absolutely 100% nailed the actor who's playing Monkey D. Luffy. The one slightly iffy one is Nami, but she kind of grows on you as you watch. So I have gotten no complaints with what I've seen. Arlong is a little weird, but Buggy the pirate and Roronoa and all of them, it looks and feels and is good. So
nice.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Big announcement. Lego is, I don't know exactly when they're going to release this, but I know exactly when they're going to release it. If I actually looked at the freaking picture, Lego is going to release their biggest Lego set ever on July 1st, 2026. It is a 12,060 piece masterpiece.
Good Lord.
It is the Sagrada Familia. It is a cathedral, and it is going to be huge. Oh, and by the way, the retail price is going to be just $600.
The thing is ridiculous. I'm looking at it. I love the AI renderings of the inside.
Yes.
I'm like, it's going to really look like that?
No, but I'll be very interested to see, like, I'm assuming that you could take the roof off to see the inside. You have to, right? Right?
That's a lot of work.
I know.
I guess my question is that I'm curious of, like, because I'm not a Lego builder. Like, it's just not my thing now.
Yeah.
Like, how long approximately would this take to build?
Ooh, buddy.
Like, is this like a day project,
No.
a multi-day project? I don't even
This is a multi-day project.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say tentatively for me, I would say that bad boy would at least be like a week project. I don't think that I could pump it out any faster. I would be surprised. I probably would try to pace myself. Maybe do 2,000 or 1,000 to 2,000 pieces a day.
Yeah. I mean, I guess what I'm looking at this is for the engineering and the number of pieces.
Yeah.
Like, I know $600 is a lot. Like, nobody's going to debate that, but it doesn't seem like ridiculous.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like, if you're really into Lego, and I know, like, I've seen how much some of the other stuff, like a Death Star and like those things cost.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like it's like $5,000 or something where it's like, no. Like, if you're somebody who's really into Legos, or maybe your family is, like, this definitely seems, it's a little bit of a splurge for sure.
Yeah.
But as far as if you're a Lego family, this doesn't seem like the worst thing. Maybe it's like one thing a year, like, this is going to be our thing.
Right.
Is this? I could actually see that.
I'd be very interested to see what the dimensions of this thing are, because you got to think. I mean, I've seen like what the Death Star and the. Oh my gosh! I just blanked out on the large ship.
The Death Star?
No, not the Death Star, but their capital cruiser, whatever it is. Their flagship. Which I've seen one of those built, and it is huge. So I'd just be very curious with 12,000 pieces. I mean, that thing is, you're going to have to build a specialty shelf. It's not just going to sit on a normal bookshelf.
Yeah.
Hell, it might just be in the middle of your kitchen table. But I don't know. I mean, that's cool. I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
it looks sweet.
I really am curious. To your point, like, what is the size of this damn thing?
Yeah.
Because I'm not seeing anything about the actual like dimensions.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll know in a couple months.
Yes, indeed. All right, now let's get back to some bad news, shall we? We can't just have a happy-go-lucky show, okay?
Can that be my request for the new year? Just a happy show? That's too much to ask.
I don't know. In this environment,
exactly. It could be escape from the chaos.
Yeah. Well, okay. So, Crystal Dynamics, the company behind basically the Tomb Raider series and whatnot, they have now suffered their 4th round of layoffs in a year.
Yeah, that's never a good sign.
No. So over the past 12 months, they have basically I think in that year, 67 employees out of 273 have been let go. So that's it's roughly, I don't know, a quarter of the staff is now gone.
And I always think of, the human part is, what are these game developers going to honestly do? Because the problem is all the game studios are laying off.
Yep.
And they're not hiring. So it's like, what are the path for a lot of these developers? It's kind of
indie projects.
And then you see news of Jeff Bezos buying $100 million worth of factories to automate them all, further reducing our actual workforce.
Yep. Well, don't you know that the robots are supposed to take over all of our jobs so we can live in the laps of luxury?
You mean the nice utopian future of every book, except forget one very, very important detail when it comes to this utopia future.
The robotic uprises.
It's run by the billionaires who will not let that happen.
No.
Let's be honest. We have to work till we're dead.
It'll be like RoboCop. Even if you die, they'll just put you in a cybernetic suit and put you back to work.
Now we're on to something.
Yeah. I've seen that meme pop up so much as of late in all of my social media threads. So, yeah. Yeah. God, do I want to? Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's just get the other bad news out of the way.
More bad news. How much bad news can we have in a week, man?
So, Red Storm Entertainment, which is an Ubisoft studio, which is the studio that's basically behind the Ghost Recon series, has been hit with mass layoffs and will no longer be developing games.
Oh, great. I don't know what the studio's going to do if they don't develop games.
I guess
maintain existing games?
I guess. I don't know. That's such a weird way to put it. It's been hit with layoffs and will no longer develop games. So you still have employees, so I'm assuming it's got to be just to maintain the existing IPs that you have.
Probably, which means probably everyone who works there is now looking for another job that does not exist.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. That sucks. Oh, and by the way, it was over 100 people who got laid off.
Yeah. It's a good thing we have great, unemployment and safety nets to help out the people who get laid off here.
Safety nets. I knew we forgot something.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. That's what we got bootstraps for.
Bootstraps.
Although I don't really own any boots or straps, so I'm kind of screwed if something happens.
I don't own any boots.
I mean, I own hiking boots. Those are the only boots I own. I don't own like cowboy boots, but I have hiking boots. Does that count?
I don't have any boots. The problem is my feet too big for many and most boots.
What if I took a Dremel to the front and just made like a little hole for your toes?
So basically just a weird-ass sandal.
That sounds very functional.
Sure. Oh, no.
There you go. You can make them like Crocs and just drill holes.
Freaking Crocs.
That's what my dad did growing up. Is he got Crocs, and it cost more to buy Crocs with holes. So he was like, "F that! I'm just gonna buy the regular Crocs and drill my own damn holes."
Yeah, self-sufficient.
It's very practical.
Yeah. Okay. The next topic is actually a viewer question.
Oh. What happens if you get laid off from Ultra Confusion because everyone's being laid off?
No, not yet. This is an interesting question. It's probably a quick answer, but I promised that I was going to ask it, so I'm going to ask it. Hopefully, I don't butcher the question, but no, the answer is not 42.
Damn it.
All right, here we go. For those PC gamers out there, most of us potentially have a nice speaker or speakers on your rig. Yes.
Yes.
A lot of these speakers have volume knobs or some way to pump up the volume. So the question that was asked was, how do you control your volume on your gaming rig?
I mean, do you want the very detailed answer or the short answer?
I will give you my short answer. I basically turn the knob of my speaker almost to maximum, not maximum, but just a tad bit under maximum, and then I just control the volume via the hotkeys on my keyboard.
See, I'm the complete reverse, because everything you read from an audiophile perspective is you actually turn your PC volume up to maximum, and then you use your knobs on your devices to actually control it.
I guess that would give you more precision, though. Yeah.
So I'll give you a little tour here because I have my webcam. It asked me a dangerous question because I went down a rabbit hole.
Uh-oh.
So I basically have coming out of my PC. So at the bottom, it's called a DAC, which is a digital amplifier. I don't know what the C actually stands for.
Yep.
And then that goes up to an amp. So basically, it takes the digital, goes up to analog for the actual speaker amp. And then I have real, oh God, this is hard to control, real speakers on my PC. Is the route I went down. So I went like a giant rabbit hole a couple of years ago on this whole thing. Because I was like, I want for my PC. So yes, so basically, I'm not going to move it again. But on my DAC, I actually have a control knob there. Gotcha. So using that and a very fancy remote. So that's actually the answer of how I control it. Is through the remote that then controls the volume on my DAC. That then goes to my PC. My PC is always at max volume. Occasionally, because I do have on my keyboard a little scroll thing. So like if I want a little control, I just don't feel like, the controls all the way up here. I have to move my left arm so far. I can move my knob a little bit.
Right.
But it's interesting because people I've gone down like the audiophile, like deep dark rabbit hole. Holy hell, do people get very, very actually passionate about this exact question of, do you do it the way I do it, or do you do it the way that Ultra Confusion does it?
Right.
And man, people throw a fist over that damn question. What is the proper way to control the audio? Yes. Apparently there's a right answer. It might be, we don't know what the right answer is, but by God, there's a right answer.
I'm sure that that there's probably some audio piece that we're both missing that makes it the perfect setup, but whatever.
Oh, yeah. When it comes to audio, you can spend obscene amounts of money for like a 1% increase of audio quality.
But it gives you that real oomph, Zealeus, that extra oomph.
So there's the one thing I hate about living it's a condo, which is basically an apartment.
Yep.
I actually like my neighbors, so I don't have a subwoofer.
Ah, yes, the subwoofer.
And I really wish I had a subwoofer because it actually would, to your point, give me that oomph.
Yeah, no. I used to have a subwoofer, and I stopped using it when I lived in a townhouse.
Yeah.
Because it was just the right, I guess, frequency that every single time that there was something that the subwoofer that engaged the subwoofer, it would rattle the frames of the pictures of the wall that I share. It wasn't on my side; it was on my neighbor's side, and so I'd get this very apologetic, an older lady, hi. It's me again. I'm sorry. I don't want to be a burden, but whatever's happening over in your house, it's shaking the picture frames again. And finally, I was like, oh, forget this. So I took the subwoofer out, and I don't know what the hell happened to it.
So it's like the one reason I wish I lived in a house is I would have subwoofers out the freaking wazoo, man.
Yeah.
Like my TV would have like 2 massive subwoofers hooked up to it. So I get the true theater experience. It actually vibrates my head instead of my ears. That's how intense it is.
It vibrates off my cranium to give me the extra experience.
It's like an alien going inside my skull. It feels so good.
Yeah. So, all right. Let's pause real quick to thank the amazing individuals who help Alter Confusion be the Alter Confusion that you love and adore. That's, of course, the friends of the show. So without further ado, let's jump into it. And the first one, of course, is the Indie Cluster. The Indie Cluster is an independent... Whoops. There we go. It's an organization of independent game developers that want to gain exposure by being involved in the community. They collectively journey to popular conferences as a traveling booth to help gain attention for their games. They make partnerships in local communities to bring games to the mainstream mindset. They highlight local, unusual, and rare concepts to challenge the paradigm of the common. They also host events to teach kids and minority groups about game development to hopefully one day enter the industry themselves. For more information, go to indiecluster.com. The next shout out we got to give is to the AV master himself. That, of course, is Noodle Boy Media. Founded in 2015 by Andrew Tran, Noodle Boy Media, previously Wack Kid 47 Media, is your choice for professional photo shoots and panel recordings at conventions. They pride themselves in providing a high level of professionalism, top-notch experiences, and quality services. If you want more information and to view their full list of services, check out facebook.com/noodleboymedia. And we brought him up, this next one up a little bit earlier. But if you are in the greater Atlanta area and you've got the aches and pains of maybe sitting in your computer chair for too long or maybe gaming too long, or hell, life in general will give you some weird aches and creaks in your body, Hero Chiropractic is here to help. Hero Chiropractic is a unique healthcare practice set up by Ryan Moore. The company's focus to elevate a patient's experience of freedom, creative expression, and joy. They believe that everyone can be a hero and has incredible heroic potential inside themselves waiting to be unleashed. Hero Chiropractic focuses on mobile chiropractic care in the greater Atlanta area. They are committed to healing clients by creating a plan of action uniquely suited for each person. They make that plan of action as convenient and affordable as possible, and most importantly, suited to your individual needs. For more information, go to herochiropractic.com. The next shout out we got to give is to the music maestro himself, and that, of course, is CrossPad Creative. Need a new logo or want to work on a full branding and content strategy? Or maybe you need music or audio for your content, just like Alter Confusion. CrossPad Creative offers a whole host of solutions for individuals and small businesses. Just email Josh at crosspadcreative@gmail.com and see what he can do for you. And, of course, the final shout-out we got to give is to the original backer via Patreon of Alter Confusion. That, of course, is Agile Axiom. By day, Axe leads both the development team and system administration team, working with satellites at NASA's Goddard campus. But while not in meetings many times during, he is the Agile evangelist, Agile Axe, championing the philosophy of Agile and trying to make the world a better place for software developers, testers, system admins, and software projects the world over. Decades of experience in software development and leading Agile teams are brought to bear against evil processes, inefficient work, and bad habits. For more information, go to agileaxiom.com. I apologize for the weird, like random, like dramatic pauses I'm doing. My allergies are all jacked up, so after a while, I got to take a breath because I can't breathe through my nose. I can't breathe through my nose right now.
Allergies at this time of year? What are you talking about, sir?
The yellow snow is falling.
Oh, so good. It gives me an extra flavor in my food.
Ugh. That makes me not notice flavor. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I know that at this very point in time, you want to know, how do I become a friend of the show? Well, it's quite simple. Ladies and gentlemen, Altered Confusion survives on love and support of fans like you, and so we have a Patreon page. Patreon lets you, the fans, lovers, haters, demigods, interdimensional beings, gods, demons, aliens, werewolves, vampires, swamp creatures, mummies, supporters, and more to become active participants in the work we love through a monthly membership. This gives you access to exclusive content, community, and insight into our creative process. In exchange, we gain a bit more freedom to do our best work and the stability we need to build an even stronger creative career. We currently have 2 tiers that you can pledge at. We have the $1 tier. That's $1 a month or $12 a year. What that gets you is early access to all of our playthroughs, as well as the ability to participate in Patreon-only posts. Now, if you're feeling a little extra frisky, you can pump that up from 1 to 5. That's $5 a month or $60 a year. What that gets you is everything at the $1 tier, plus your name or organization added to the Friends of the Show section of every single Thursday night hangout. So if you want to become a patron of Altered Confusion, go to Patreon. That's patreon.com/Altered Confusion today. Now, before I fire up the extra life thing, I did remember to bring the medal down.
Ooh.
So nice. We have our 2025 Extra Life medal.
Very nice.
That's a thank you for raising over, I believe, $250. I think that's what the $250 one is. So that's our second medal. So thank you, everyone, for helping make that happen. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Altered Confusion is proud to say that we have been fundraising for Extra Life for 15 years straight. Extra Life is gamers doing what they do best, game, to help sick and injured children at their chosen Children's Miracle Network Hospital. The money that we raise through Extra Life will go directly to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta as unrestricted funds. This means that the hospital decides where and how to spend the money to ensure the dollars we raise make the biggest impact in the lives of the kids they treat. So, if you have the capacity to donate, go to extra-life.org and search for Altered Confusion today. And one more bit of housekeeping. Ladies and gentlemen, I know that you out there are those of you out there who want to get your hands on some Altered Confusion swag, be it a hat, be it a vinyl sticker, be it a beanie, be it a coffee cup or a notebook or socks or an animal food bowl. Well, ladies and gentlemen, all you got to do is go to alteredconfusion.tv/merch. That's MERCH. And you can see the whole run of things, and you can select 1, 2, 3. It doesn't matter. You just select as many as you want.
So many options. You can buy a dish for every day of the week, and then you don't have to wash your dishes.
Exactly.
I should just buy 365 dishes. Problem solved.
There you go. Boom. And they're reasonably priced.
What about plates?
I will have to look to see if they've got plates.
They would need plates.
Indeed.
Which handmade plate? I will paint somebody an Altered Confusion plate if they pay me.
Okay. Now, back to the stories.
Does it revolve around Altered Confusion?
No, but it does revolve around a movie franchise that is now entering its 4th movie.
Okay.
And no, it's not. Well, Fast and Furious is already up to what, 11?
I think they're producing their 11th now.
Anyways, this one is not Fast and Furious. This one is Sonic.
Or Jurassic Park.
Sonic 4 has officially announced that although everyone was under the impression that Jim Carey was done with the series, he is not done with the series. He is in the casting list for Sonic 4.
Interesting.
Now, This, of course, from what little is known about it, it is a new chapter. This one is not going to be centered around Sonic having to battle Robotnik. At least that's what they're kind of pointing at. Robotnik will be more of like a support character, as the Chaos Gems are in jeopardy, and something is coming through some sort of gate. And you're going to be introduced to even more of Sonic's friends that we have learned to love and know through all the Sonic games of the past.
Yeah, it's just because I know in previous movies that could have been franchises, Jim Carrey was like, I don't need to do more because basically I'd be bored as an actor and I've already done this.
Yeah, he's very against. Well, he was very against sequels, but I think he's having so much fun, and the writers and the directors are basically like, just have the cameras on Jim and let him go.
That's how I kind of feel. Like, yeah, you're right. Like when I've seen the Sonics I've seen, that's how it feels. Like he's just having a blast and having fun and doing whatever he wants, which is probably very different than like, you must act this way. And instead this one, it's the Jim Carrey show because everything else is animated. Why not?
Yeah.
So cool. And it might also be like him being a minor character instead of like a major character.
Yeah.
Maybe doesn't hurt either. So yeah, that's cool. I was pleasantly surprised by the Sonic movies. Were definitely better than I thought they would be.
Yes, I agree.
So, but then again, are there really bad Jim Carrey movies?
Some would say yes, and those are the more serious Jim Carrey movies. Like,
so that would be like Adam Sandler, kind of same thing.
What was that movie with Jim Carrey? It was like this. Oh, goddamn, I'm gonna have to look it up on IMDb now.
I don't know.
It was like Book 13 or something. It was. I mean, no, it's not Ace Ventura. In case anyone's out there. Yeah, he did a really good job with the Truman Show, but Truman Show, there was some comedy to it.
Yeah. It's always tricky with someone like him and Chandler when they do like serious movies.
Yeah.
There's a bit of like, because was Adam Chandler and Uncut Diamonds, I think is the movie, it's like separating the comedian from the movie and just taking the movie on the face value. And it's not always easy to do.
The number 23 is the movie that some people do not have a problem with. Just give you a quick synopsis here. Walter Sparrow becomes obsessed with a novel that he believes was written about him, as more and more similarities between himself and his literary alter ego seem to arise.
Interesting. I don't know anything about
it. It's a creepy movie. It's not my favorite, but I mean I'd go back and watch it. Personally.
Interesting.
Personally, but that's just me. Who knows? Different strokes for different folks. Here's a fun fact, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to lay it down for you. Not everyone is going to like everything that you like. Not everyone is going to dislike everything that you dislike.
But if you don't like what I like, you're just wrong. You have bad taste in everything. Oh my God.
There was, me and me going down rabbit holes with, the 10 games of this, or the 10 movies of this, the 10 TV shows, and some of there was one that was like the 10 anime series that are now completely unwatchable, and I'm like, dude, I just watched this one yesterday. It's
actually completely unwatchable means it's no longer available to stream.
Yeah. It's like, no, it's just the subject matter is inappropriate, or we live at a different time, and the humor is not correct for this, blah 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 blah.
Is we should no longer ever watch any Mel Brooks movie ever.
Just no Blazing Saddles. You definitely can't do that one. What was that other one? Oh, I can't remember what it is. I'm sure that Robin Hood Men in Tights is probably, very offensive at this point. But definitely not Blazing Saddles. Dear God, no. You can never watch Blazing Saddles.
Ever. Just burn it at the stake. Or it might be a metaphorical stake.
Look, if you want to watch Blazing Saddles without all of the risque stuff, then you can watch them. There's a movie out there called Paws of Fury. And it is an animated movie that's literally Blazing Saddles, but for kids.
Nice.
So there you go. You can still get a little taste of Blazing Saddles in Paws of Fury.
Reminds me, there was years ago, I don't know if it still exists, there was a movie service that basically made movies into like PG movies.
It's still in Utah, I think.
And I remember one of the movies on there was like The Expendables or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what were those movies? Like
opening credits, end credits.
And scenes. Yeah. So some of the movies I saw on there were like, really? Any Jason Statham movie.
Yeah. He walks on the screen.
And cut.
His dialogue, you. Okay. Yes. Credits. Oh, good Lord. Now, speaking in the same vein of, me basically going off on these things, the list of things that are no longer watchable, Jeff Kaplan, who was a big name in the gaming community, had something to say about people complaining about games they've never played. And this is beautiful, and I want to share it with the group. And it is the following. Direct quote: if a game comes out and you don't want to play it, and you've never played it, shut the fuck up. No one cares. What is with this? Oh my God, I'm so upset they decided to make this game that I have no interest in. Yes, that right there. There are games out there that I'm like, why would you make those? That's my opinion. I'm not saying that other people can't find joy in those games. I just know for a fact that I will not play the games. And so that's my opinion. I'm not going to play them. Done. I'm not telling anyone else what to do.
I think the problem is with social media, is people do care about the opinions, even if you haven't played the game. And we're seeing time and time again where, like, basically brigading a game's reviews, even if they haven't played it, to basically give it a shit bomb. What I know is what he's speaking against, but unfortunately, people do care, even if people haven't played the game. I'm not saying they should, but I know that's what he's speaking against, is that exact type of situation. I totally understand that. But we're in a world where actually that's not true. And I wish it wasn't, because it is obnoxious. I would say the one part where I maybe disagree is when it comes to games, and it's a very specific type of game. I'm talking about AAA games that have inbuilt, where you're buying it for $60, $70, and they already have predatory monetization practices inside the game, like season passes inside those AAA games.
Yeah, I can understand
I feel a little bit bad about complaining about on it, like that particular facet. I think that is okay to complain about.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think when it comes to the actual gameplay of a game, and let's just take the combat or the strategy, those type of things.
Yeah.
In that case, yes, 100% I agree without actually having played the game.
Yeah. Yeah. If it's something like, always online for a single player game, I wish that everyone would boycott that. I will stand up for. I don't give a shit. I'm never going to play that game because it's stupid. And I hope that no one plays the game. But when it comes down to just like some artistic vision, or perhaps a genre or an amalgamation of genres that doesn't make any sense to you or makes you feel uncomfortable, just say it. Doesn't make sense. I'm going to skip it and then end it there.
I agree. Yeah.
It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. You know?
It kind of goes back to the don't be a dick theory.
Huh?
It's a little bit of just don't be a dick.
Yeah, I know I know it's very difficult and hard to grasp sometimes. Oh, that's bad, Charlie.
It was actually pretty interesting reading. I read a good bit of his interview and it was pretty fascinating.
Yeah.
Because they basically put like thousands of jobs on his shoulders, like that pressure, which it's not fair to any. Like the way they did it was like, really? So yeah, it sucks. And apparently, whoever that exec above him is no longer with Blizzard, anyways. So obviously, that wasn't the right decision. But all I know is Blizzard's. I mean, not Blizzard. Overwatch is successful again. I mean, everything I've read about Overwatch now is, higher metrics, basically in every regard.
Yeah.
Still no PvE. I'm waiting for it now. We're back to Overwatch 1. A year or two now for now. Blizzard's going to be like, guess what, guys? We're going to have Overwatch 2 with PvE.
One can only hope.
I just think it'd be funny because it's like, wait, didn't we go down this route like 5 years ago?
And you guys took it away from us?
So games.
You bastards. Oh man, I didn't want to end on a sad note, but there is unfortunately another author has passed away. William C. Dietz, I think is how you pronounce his last name, or Dietz. He was basically probably the most famous Halo author. He I think he was like one of the first authors to pen a Halo book. Halo the Flood.
Have you read any Halo books?
Huh?
Have you read a Halo book before?
I have.
I have not.
I've read two. But it has been like a bajillion years since I've read those books. So I'm blanking out on exactly the names of said books, but I could cheat.
Did you read the books when you were playing the original games?
No, I did it. I read them after playing the games. Oh, I did. I actually read The Flood.
Well, you read them in close time frame to playing the games, I guess is what I'm saying.
No. I think it was just one of those I wanted something and I think I was just itching for a book that was in a universe, a game universe that I enjoyed, and I was just like, ooh, a Halo book. I'll give that a spin.
Fair enough.
And I did read The Flood, so
there you go.
I did read his book. So ta-da! Yay, Charlie!
Charlie can read. I'm so
Charlie can read.
Hooked on Phonics worked for you.
Oh my God! You know the payphone outside my high school had to cancel the ability to call that phone number.
Nice.
Payphoners, this thing, it was a phone that you had to put coins,
Quarters.
Actual real physical money into a slot.
Wait, you mean I can just tap my phone to this phone and it can dial?
No, just not how it works.
No, but then how do I pay without my phone? I don't understand. Can I use my watch? I don't have a watch on. But can I pay with my watch if I had one?
No.
No? Dang.
No, you cannot.
What about my mom's credit card?
Well, if you were international, I think you could do that.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know if you had to do this. Back in the day, before we all had these fancy little computers in our pockets, like you go someplace and you need a ride. So the game was you could call somebody collect.
Yep.
But what you would do is you call them collect, because like it was just enough time to make what was supposed to be say your name, and you give them like the details like people don't vote, and then hang up and hope they actually got the message.
Ready to be picked up.
Collect was damn expensive.
Yes, it was.
But like Charlie mentioned, you could pay with quarters, but if you didn't have money, you could call somebody collect.
Yes, which is a concept that's
a chunk of change.
Yeah.
Oh, memories. Oh God, back in the day. And if you ever watch Hackers, yes, freaking phones was a real thing and it worked.
Was it the Captain Crunch whistle?
That was one, but you could just emulate if you knew how to. You could emulate the buzzer, and that may have been it. I don't remember anymore.
Yeah,
yeah, but it was a real thing.
Yeah.
So what is you could basically emulate a tone because if every time you like put a quarter in, it basically made a tone.
Yep.
And if you could emulate that tone just right, then the phone or phone company would think you actually paid.
Yep.
Therefore, you could just dial out for free, basically.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, memories. Anyways, Zealeus been playing anything fun? Zealeus is dying right now, but he will get to us in a second.
Yeah, so a ARPG I paid for an early access, and this week actually came out 1.0 release. It's called Dragonkin the Banished. It's a fun ARPG. It comes down to, guess what? If you like action RPGs, you'll like Dragonkin the Banished. If you don't like action RPGs, guess what? You're probably not going to like it.
What?
So, I would say it's more in the vein of like a Diablo in that you're killing hordes of enemies. So like, for instance, like right now, Path of Exile 2 is in a state where it's more of like a slow-paced kind of set up the battles, more of like a field general type of feel where like you can run in guns a-blazing some if you have like, the right meta build, but there's definitely builds where like you have to kind of think about what you're doing or you will die. Whereas Dragonkin the Banished reminds me more of like a Diablo 4 experience where like you're just running guns a-blazing on normal mode and you're just going to annihilate everything in your path.
Gotcha.
And sometimes you have different types of games in your life. And right now, a Dragonkin the Banished game where you just go in and, you slaughter enemies by the hundreds and thousands. It just feels good. So I'm enjoying it. So that's my game right now that I'm playing.
I'm still playing some Slay the Spire 2. I've unlocked all the characters. So you have basically your three from Slay the Spire 1 plus 2 additional characters. One looks really cool. I just don't know how to play it well because I get my ass whooped pretty damn quick. It's kind of like a necromancer. That also has like a kind of like a skeletal cousin minion or companion with you that if you can find a way to keep it from dying, it could be like super duper powerful, but
nice.
It dies too much for me and then I die a lot, so no bueno thus far.
I will say the interesting thing about Dragonkin is so most ARPGs, like you are leveling up skills as you play it, right? Like you level up and put points into, I want more bonus points to my leap slam, for instance, right? They make it more powerful. What Dragonkin does is you still level up. You still have points for like, they call it like agility or courage, where it kind of gives you some attacker armor points. But the actual skills, what they do, it's called the Ancestral Grid. And basically it's a hex grid where you might have, for instance, a leap slam. You put your leap slam on the grid, and then you have these modifiers they can put attached to it. One might be like an AoE effect. One might be more increased damage. One might be a shockwave.
Mm-hmm.
So that is how you do it. And basically, if you add in, I think it's like the first level, so the first level might be, for instance, like a 5% chance to do a shockwave. If you add 3 of those around it, you can get more powerful shards to give more points. If you get more points of shockwave, now level 3 is like a 15% chance to do that on hit.
Right.
So that's how they do it. So you kind of have to be strategic in how you do it. And if you have, like, for instance, like, let's just say, like, Whirlwind and Shockwave, they're 2 physical abilities, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if they're touching, now any modifier for a physical touching that will then modify both skills.
Gotcha.
If you have, like, a Dragon's Breath, which is a fire skill, those physical skills or modifiers don't affect your Dragon's Breath. So you kind of have to be strategic on how do you place all of your both skills and the modifiers on the ancestral grid to kind of maximize your mad DPS.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a cool take on the leveling system for ARPG.
Right on.
And there are right now 4 distinct classes. There is the Knight, which is actually kind of a lot of fun. They have the Barbarian, who's like your world one dude. You have your, I don't actually remember the name of the classes now. But then you have your mage character and you have your ranged character. Yeah, thank you, your character. No idea if there's plans for more classes or anything, but that's what they have right now.
Sweet.
So yeah, if you're an ARPG fan, definitely recommend checking it. There's no reason not to check it out if you're an ARPG fan. I'll put it that way.
Right on. Well, the only other thing I can recommend, I can say for recommendations, it's not a video game, but if you're looking for an interesting kind of like alternate history, 1920s kind of thing, there's a series called the Arcane Casebook.
Okay.
It's got magic. It's got rune rites. And of course, it's I'm up to the point where I think World War II might just be starting, so maybe it's more than 1940s now at this point.
So is it history, or is it just history that's happened, but with new spicy elements?
I think it's it's kind of hard because they name a bunch of people, and I'm sorry, I am not the history buff that I should be, and so I don't know if they're actual like historical people or if they just like added people to, like, Hitler is a thing.
So is it like, I guess why I say alt history, I mean the context, it's not like Man in a High Castle where the Nazis won the war. Is it still like the Axis of Evil where it's Germany and the Nazis versus like the Allies? Is it still like kind of the core players are the same?
That all I know is that it takes place in New York, in Manhattan to be specific. And in the book that I'm in, which I think is the 7th or 8th or maybe even 9th book, Hitler has just taken over Austria. But there's like an Illuminati-like group that's trying to pull strings from behind the thing, and there's another group that definitely does not exist. If they did exist, well, I mean, hell, I don't know, maybe they do exist. But there's secret organizations out there, and
I mean, how do we know if they existed if they're a secret organization?
Exactly. But anyways, I mean, it's a fun series. I feel like sometimes the author's trying to like one up every single book, and there was one storyline that I was wanting to strangle the author over because I didn't like it. But I finally got some resolution, so I'm now easing off of trying to strangle the author to death.
So very random tangent.
Yes.
But I just finished season 5 of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite TV shows ever, and one of the main reasons is one thing a lot of TV shows do, particularly when it comes to like love stories, is like they just go on forever. Like it's the will they or won't they. And one of the things I really like about Brooklyn Nine-Nine is any of those like will they, won't they types, like they wrapped up like that episode.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you still have the ongoing things like somebody's going to get married and you might have like an issue in that episode, but it gets resolved by the end of the episode. Mm-hmm. It's not like this ongoing 4-episode thing of like, won't they stay together? And like, to me, that's completely refreshing and, comic, because like The Office did the annoying thing where these really annoying storylines would linger on forever.
Yes.
And that's one thing I really like about Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's like, no, the storyline's done. Let's move on to the next fresh topic. So like, it's very quickly moved up to my list of like top shows of all time.
There you go.
Because they just move on to the next funny storyline.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we've reached the end of our show. So without further ado, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to the Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout. From myself, Charlie, and Zealeus, it's been a pleasure getting here to come our heads, our mouths, and of course, our hearts. We'll be back next Thursday for another Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout.
Remember, kids, keep on gaming in the free world.
Amen to that, brother.